Hello all, welcome back. We are about to hop into our first adventure of the evening, one which I have entitled Cult of Bureaucracy. It's part of the Cult of Bureaucracy series, Beneath the Streets subtitle. But before we get into it, as always, we are going to just take a moment and meet all of our characters. So without further ado, let's get into it. Returning once more, we have Othgarurt Charirgix, coming off of a recent stint as a giant frog. How are you, Othgarurt?
Hello.
Yes.
I believe that the claim that I was a frog was false because Mr. Snootington's victory was entirely correct and fair.
Yes, I apologize. You were there. Were you there in the attendance of the audience or something like that? Because I'd heard that you were like attending the. I heard you were attending the dog show or the frog show that day.
Yes. He did have a mighty and strong frog with him that was indeed very brave. However, we at the Bartholomew's adventuring troupe, as you know, as you are the omnipresent voice.
Yes, one of the administrators.
We do not cheat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't even know what kind of... I just, sometimes my mind, it wanders around. I make mistakes, and this must have just been one of those cases. So I guess with that in mind, what else is new in your life? If you weren't you weren't a frog, obviously. What else is going on? How have you been? How is this kind of new philosophy that you've been embracing going?
I have been still working on this philosophy. I know that cheap tools are not what is the source of the anger, as I have said before. But it would seem what burns me inside is the replacing of the valuable with the cheaper. And beyond that, I am still soul searching.
Okay. I have no doubt that, given time, Othgarurt, you will find the answers that you're looking for. You've shown only strength and resolve thus far. So I wish you best of the luck, and I wish you welcome tonight.
Thank you.
Next, we have a brand new adventurer here. We have, and forgive me if I pronounce anything wrong here. We have Serena Nathvano. Did I say that correctly?
Hi, you did.
Oh, great. Serena, how are you? You seem very cheerful.
Hi, I'm Serena. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. Serena, would you care to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Serena. This is Lucy and this is Mike. They're on my shoulder.
I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit of trouble making out. What am I looking at with Lucy and Mike?
Oh, they're spiders.
Oh, spiders. I guess now that I'm looking at them and seeing them spiders, I mean, I'm sorry. They're obviously very cute, correct?
Yes, thank you. They're very cute.
Oh,
they're always with me.
And what were their names one more time? Was it Lucy and Mike?
Yes, Lucy and Mike.
Lucy and Mike. It's a very pleasure. It's a great pleasure to meet Lucy and Mike as well.
Yes.
And Serena, what made you want to take up the adventuring life, and what kind of skills do you bring to the table as well?
I just want to show everybody that, spiders aren't as bad as everybody makes them out to be. They're compassionate creatures and they really take care of their own, even if sometimes they eat each other. But, it's a hard world out there.
Spiders may eat each other, but all the humanoid races have war and things like that. If that's not the same thing, then...
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
I look forward to getting to know you and your spiders more as we go on, Serena. And also, Lucy and Mike, welcome this evening.
Thank you.
And next we have another returning character. We have Anadoltia Bluebeads, the Dollbound Warlock. For anyone already not familiar with Anadoltia, which I think you all might be by this point, you are a soul that has been bound to the form of a small doll. So Anadoltia, how are you today?
I'm fine, Pete.
Anadoltia, every time I hear your beautiful, resonant but high voice, it always brings a smile to my face. So, Anadoltia, is there anything new? Tell me, what have you been up to?
Well, besides having my new familiar Sir Fluffles, Czar Fluffles, since I gave him a crown, I guess.
And what is Sir Fluffles?
Oh, he's a cotton kitty.
A kitty. Okay, cool.
Yes, I summoned him after I received my tome and the Book of Ancient Secrets.
Oh yes. It seems that your patron has been pretty, I believe, Confectia, yes, has been pretty happy with your performance.
Yes, she has.
To bestow such gifts as a cotton kitty, you said, yes?
Yes, summoned through Find Familiar.
And my instincts...
Sir Fluffles, no, you do not want to attack those poor little spiders.
Yes, you got to stay away from Lucy and Mike. But my instincts are telling me that a cotton kitty, and forgive me if I'm wrong, maybe a kitty, but with fur of cotton candy. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
A fitting patron for one's given by one so sweet as Confectia and you, Anadoltia. Welcome back tonight.
Thank you, Pete.
And last but not least, we have one of the many of the Galanodel clan. We have Ciro returning. Welcome, Ciro.
We cut across to Ciro, who is currently cleaning the bolt action on her rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Pete.
Ciro, how is the maintenance on that thing? Like, I know you kind of got your crossbow modified to fit your particular tastes, but it seems like it would just be a lot harder to clean. Is it, or do you actually find it simpler?
I mean, it suits me just fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have been trying to get some information on this new target that I've acquired. My sister actually hired me to kill this guy named Jeremy or something.
I've heard that
know anything about how where he lives or his sleeping schedule, anything like that.
Yeah, I can give you his address. Let me just type that right on the screen here. Actually, you know what? I'll just send you a private raven with that information at a later time. I am, co-workers with Jeremy, so I do have some personal information. There's only so much I can divulge, but yeah, I can get that to you, Ciro. I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Apparently this Jeremy guy, not worth a lot.
I mean, I think he's got to have a pretty high bounty, would be my thought. It's just so hard to get a hold of. Like, you just never see him walking around. He's always just kind of, you hear him talking, but you never, just have him out in the world anywhere,
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, thanks for the information. I'll get
yeah,
to
of
work on that
course.
right away.
Yeah. And with that, let us begin hopping into tonight's adventure. As always, as you're all aware, Bartholomew, our resident quest giver, has sent you on what is actually a fairly strange task tonight. If you are familiar with the Green Sun cult, you have received a request directly from the cult themselves. Normally, the cult is pretty independent, and they carry out whatever kind of strange things that they get up to without any assistance. But today, they've seemed to run into a problem that is messing with their systems or whatever it is that their organization, which is pretty rigid, this has thrown a cog in the machine, so to speak. So you've all been shipped off to Central City to meet at the kind of local branch of the cult. And the other thing, the thing that defines the cult, again, for anyone who's not already familiar with this, is that they are known for handling all of the bureaucratic operations within the city, all of the public works. They handle things such as the DLV, the Department of Land Vehicles. They run the power plant. They run the sewers. They run the post office. They run waste management. But the particular branch that you'll be dealing with today is the highway department, specifically the department that is responsible for fixing and maintaining the roads of Central City. Unlike some of their other offices, which are a little bit more obtuse and harder to find, this one seems fairly straightforward, as you all are kind of standing now outside of it on the streets of the city. As you walked here, and you found that the roads were pretty beat up. It's very clear that they have not been receiving proper maintenance as of late. And as you kind of walk into the office, you go from outside this kind of bustling, active city streets. As you open the door of this just kind of like regular looking wooden building, very nondescript, simple wooden sign that says the highway department. It's kind of etched in this green stone on like a little placard above the door. As you walk into the building, the kind of ambiance of the city instantly shifts, and the room that you stand in appears to be fully made of black obsidian. On the other side of the counter, you can see a figure with a black cloak behind kind of iron bars that are preventing you from getting from where you are to this individual that's on the far side of it.
I look around for a take a number machine.
Actually, as you're kind of... well, for starters, go ahead and make me a perception check.
18?
All right, yeah. You look around the space. You do not see a take a number machine. Just kind of on the inside of it, a lot of the interior of this place is just very simple and direct. It doesn't look like they intend to get a lot of people coming here, even asking for complaints. Like they don't really even want to see. They don't really want to see visitors at this branch. So it's just one simple teller that's just kind of operating in this space. Behind the teller, behind the bars, you can see it. There's a couple of hallways that lead off beyond kind of the range of your vision. For one thing, you do notice that the kind of distance it goes back definitely seems larger than the shape of the outside building, and you can see kind of some shifting movement that kind of tucks behind with kind of a slurping sound as it moves down that hallway, from which kind of green light pulsates and glows.
Okay, Ciro will walk up to the counter and say, excuse me.
The person kind of takes a card and places it through kind of a small slot in the iron bars, much like one would expect at a bank that allows like the kind of exchange of money, but they hand you this card. It's written on just like a white cardstock, and in green text on it, it says, yes, with a question mark.
I am here with Bartholomew's Adventurers.
Another card comes through. Yes, we've been expecting you.
It is good to be expected.
Another card. Indeed. Just continues to stare straight ahead. You see kind of puffs of kind of black smoke that occasionally emerge out of the black hood as they just stare forward blankly. That black smoke obscuring the face of whatever individual is behind this counter. What are the rest of you doing as this is happening? Have any of you ever been to a cult of bureaucracy agency
Unfortunately,
before?
I haven't. So, as what I'm doing, I would like to, I'm pretty much holding Czar Fubbles back because he still seems interested in those spiders. But other than that, I'm pretty much like looking around the room, see if there's anything like magical or strange that like catch my eye.
All right, yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check. Yeah, this place is definitely both magical, and even more so than it is magical, it is strange. Like I had already mentioned to Ciro, you notice that the dimensions of the inside of the building in no way reflect the appearance from the outside, but you're also just kind of looking around at these kind of deep obsidian walls, and you kind of go up to one and you're just scratching at it, and you can tell that they're heavily enchanted in some way. And as you kind of scratch at it, it's not as hard as you thought. You kind of chip away at some of the, you kind of actually chip away at some of this stone, this glass-like stone. And behind it, it just appears to be black void. And then you see kind of like a shifting movement, which instantly just puts up another piece, and the wall seems to repair itself. But you're just kind of in a very, you can tell that you're in a very strange space right now.
Would have been any chance for me to at least like attempt to see what that movement was?
On the from behind the counter before, or in that one moment?
In that one moment.
Go ahead and I'll let you keep your 20 Arcana score. You could tell that it was something aberrant in nature. And from what you've heard about the Green Sun cult, that's not entirely out of their realm. In many ways, even just the regular cultists are aberrations, from what the description of the things that they are able to do and accomplish. However, the consistency with which they make the city run has allowed a lot of that to go kind of by the wayside and be ignored by any of the law. Also, because a lot of the law is definitely afraid of them. You could only see just like a motion of like deep kind of grayish flesh behind the wall. You don't know what it was, but it was definitely something strange.
All right, I'll make a note of that for future visits, just in case.
We were hired to do a job, I believe. We would like to know the exact job details and where we would go to complete this task.
This time the card that kind of slides through is significantly larger than the other ones, and there's a good amount of text in very plain kind of block script, green pen written on it.
Is it more like a form?
This does not appear to be a form. This appears to just be more of a. This appears to be just more of a listing. But as you kind of begin to read through it, it actually describes the current situation. The words that you read are: recently, we've been spending a number of our interns out to deal with some potholes that have been appearing from beneath the city. The last 73 interns that we've sent down this path have not returned. You're wondering if you could block whatever obstruction is causing them to fail in their goals. In order to arrive there, we will open a door to your right. And as you're actually in the process of reading that, you all see as that kind of chunk of wall to your right, just the obsidian wall, seems to just like crumble and turn to dust. And over to your right, you can now see what looks like a sewage pipe, and with kind of like a walkway along the right side of it, leading into what appears to be just a regular, just the central city sewer.
Is there anything else to this paper?
That's all that's written on it.
Okay.
I'll ask Othgarurt to carry me down because I'm not very good with pipes and sewers.
Are you sure you want to go down there?
It's part of our job.
I would like to file a quick complaint, if you don't mind.
All right. Yeah, as you say that, you receive one more card that says, "What is the nature of your complaint?"
The nature of my complaint is there isn't a ticketing queue. I heard that the Green Sun was all about efficiency. However, I don't see if there should be a nature of calamity and distress, a way for things to be resolved quickly and efficiently here.
This time, the thing that's passed towards you is not a card, but this time it is a form, and an extremely thick one. It looks to be maybe 25 to 30 pages and width, and it's asking, quite a lot of information. You can start filling it out as you go, but the title of it is Complaint Form, subcolon, Highway Department, subtitle, efficiency and inadequacy of performance, subtitle, infrastructure, subtitle, and then it's miscellaneous is the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. I start filling it out
Okay, yeah.
as I continue walking through the door that has appeared.
Okay. So you watch as Ciro kind of gets this huge stack of papers, which they just start kind of writing on and filling out slowly with...
Also, I stole their pen.
Yeah. Well, actually, they didn't provide a pen.
Oh, no.
Do you not have a pen?
No, I don't.
Oh, you might have to wait a while to file this complaint then until you can get home. But Ciro moves through this new opening that has been created. Do you all follow?
Yes.
Reluctantly.
Can Serena look around to see if there's any spiders?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception or investigation. I'll let you choose. All right. In the kind of room that you were first in when you entered here, you saw no spiders. It was very bare. But as you start kind of moving down, in through the sewer, you can see, the occasional. You can see the occasional kind of spider that's creeping along the ceiling. You can see a few webs that have been created. Spiders that have made their homes here. You spot one actually very beautiful to you. It would be beautiful spider web that's kind of like the full circular, almost target-shaped spider web that's kind of spread out on the ceiling, with a pretty fully grown wolf spider that is on it.
As we go down, I would like to at least attempt to cast the ritual spell comprehend languages, just in case.
Okay. You begin your ritual of casting comprehend languages as you're walking through the sewers. Eventually, that does come to fruition, and you are kind of moving for some time through this kind of dark space. And I wanted to say one more thing that you see, Serena. Also, there seems to be a pretty high concentration of rats in the sewers here. You're getting them just kind of squeaking past you, occasionally running along the floor. You also notice.
Oh no, Sir Fluffles is going to get really, really hungry now.
Oh yeah, Sir Fluffles is kind of purring anxiously, waiting to get a chance at grabbing some of these rats.
I attack as many rats as I can hit on the way.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're casually skewering rats here and there. What you do with them is up to you. You just toss them into the more watery part of the sewer, or are you just leaving them on the ground where they lie?
I leave them on the ground where they lie because I know that the green sun tends to clear out this sewers area quite often with all the interns that they send down here.
Yeah. And it's actually, this is a strange, usually the sewers are a lot tidier than this. There's pretty much no life down here, which is a sign that things obviously have been going as well. As you continue forward, eventually you start to hear this kind of schlorping sound is the best adjective I can use to describe it. As you see hanging from, or actually not hanging from the ground, on kind of a column that's on a little pole in the center of the sewer here, you can see a very strange looking creature. It looks a lot like a stalagmite. However, out of it, there is a huge pile of tentacles that are reaching up and just pushing on the ceiling up above. And you can see that the ceiling of this section is heavily cracked in a lot of locations. You see a piece kind of chunk off, and this creature reaches over with another tentacle and grabs a slate of rock as this presumably pothole from the street above appears, and it picks up another piece of rock and just shoves it up into the place, revealing, once again, obscuring the view to the street above. But this creature appears to be in some way involved with the kind of maintenance of this area. But it, as you're kind of moving closer to it, it's eyeing you with its one big eye pretty intensely. and its mouth with its mouth with like rows of sharp teeth. It's just kind of like kind of glaring at you.
Clear, it's
Is
repairing
it trying to
this-
say anything, or is it just like making noises?
Oh, with your comprehend languages. Let me actually see. It appears to just be making noises.
All right.
Is it causing damage to the roads, or is it?
It actually seems to be repairing the roads up above.
Okay.
But it also doesn't seem to, in particularly, like your presence. How do you proceed?
Stealth.
All right, stealth it is. Yeah, it's kind of lit up by the occasional crack of light that appears from like the road above that seems to be breaking above you. But you are in relative darkness. So you watch as you get to this point. Ciro just kind of tucks against a wall and slides along and moves completely outside of the creature's notice.
I think I'll probably tag along with Ciro because of my halfling nimbleness. Oh, not that, but the naturally stealthy feature I have.
Okay, go ahead and also make me a stealth check. Oh, wow. Yeah, the two of you are just fine. Anadoltia walking kind of in the wake of your footsteps. Ciro also just kind of creeps along past. What are Othgarurt and Serena doing?
I like this plan. This plan involves not fighting that thing.
Okay. Stealth it is. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, Othgarurt. All right, you're kind of moving along alongside and a little bit behind the two of them, and perhaps the reason why they were able to go through completely unchecked is because the creature's eye kind of turns to you as you kind of step on kind of a stray rock, and it crunches a little bit, and it looks at you and just and it's going to make an attack against you with a tendril. Does a 10 hit?
No.
Okay. Actually, shouldn't be doing any damage anyway, but the tendril whips out towards you, and it kind of like clatters into the wall. What are you doing at this point, Serena?
Serena's just gonna... Does it seem like it's actually meaning to, like, kill? Or is it just...
Make an insight check. It's going to be a little bit of a tough one because... oh, it's a good roll. You're looking at the creature... you're not sure, but its intent does not in particularly... it doesn't seem in particularly malevolent, but also that attack looked a little bit dangerous too. Like, even if it's not like trying to hurt you, it seems like it could just hurt you, is the vibe that you're getting, but it doesn't seem to like be angry or trying to like eat you or anything. That's about the best you can discern because it is a very alien form that you're looking at.
I'm just gonna say that the Cult of the Green Sun sent us. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna call out to it and tell it.
All right, go ahead and make me a persuasion check. As you kind of call out, the Cult of the Green Sun sent us. It kind of just directs its attention towards you and turns, and another tendril kind of whips out towards you. I assume a 19 hits.
Yes.
You are grappled. That damage doesn't actually happen. It just appears to be grappling you at the moment. But you're now the tentacles kind of curved around you, and in kind of a quick moment, you see up above the the street kind of crumbles a little bit, and very quickly your body just gets moved upwards by the tentacle, so you now appear to be being used as like a stone to repair the street, as it's just holding you against the ceiling.
Can I try and escape?
Yeah, at this point I think everyone can roll for initiative. Where is my... and this guy's gonna go. All right, so you are actually the first one to act in this particular instance. What would you like to do, Serena? As you are now being held. Yeah.
Can I try and break the grapple?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. 17, nice. You kind of twist and writhe, and the tentacle kind of unravels around you and lets you go. You drop downward. Your fall, you do not take fall damage in this instance because what you fall into is water. Unfortunately, though, that water is sewage, which is extremely unpleasant, but you are not harmed in the process. And the creatures now has several tentacles that are all kind of lashing out, and it seems to have, in particularly, be looking after Othgarurt, and Serena at the moment is Anadoltia and Ciro have not revealed their presence. What's it going to be? Ciro, you're next.
Since I'm stealth and you've established that it can't see me, do I have advantage on my attack?
Yeah, if you want to attack it. All right. A 15. A 15 actually misses this creature. As you pull back and fire at it, it strikes into the body. The body is fairly immobile. However, as it hits, it seems the crossbow shell just kind of chinks off of what seems to actually be a pretty thick hide that this creature has.
Okay, then I'm going to move with my full 30 feet of movement, since I'm no longer stealth, to continue down the sewage pathway.
Move away.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far did I get away from it?
I'll say you got a full move. Well, you did a full move, but that was moving past it. So also you got 15 feet, so you're like 45.
I was saying that I had already passed it with my stealth check, right?
Yeah, so you got like 15 feet past it with the initial stealth check.
Okay. And
so if you want to move, you'll be like
another
45
30,
feet away.
So okay, and then
you're gonna bonus action.
How far do I have to move left down this hallway?
Do a ways, like you can just keep going.
A ways? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bonus action move another 30 feet, so I'm 75 feet away.
Okay, cool. You continue to move away. At this point, the creature is aware of you, and as you kind of fly out of its range, you see there's like a few tendrils that were going to lash out at you, but as you step outside of its kind of the distance of these tentacles, they get preoccupied trying to like hold up different things on the street above, and do not get to make opportunity attacks against you. That's going to, in that case, bring us next to Anadoltia. Anadoltia, what do you wish to do?
Oh, yeah.
Anadoltia. Added in the L like a dummy.
Yes, I would like to actually approach upwards towards the roper, and instead of actually like attempting to attack, I would like to like offer myself so I can actually attempt to. What size is the pothole from our point of view? Is it more than a foot?
The particular one, it's about a foot.
Alright, then I would like to actually like call out to the roper, offering like have my arms up, and then when it pulls me up there, I like to cast mending upon the pothole. When it gets to that.
Cool. So you grab the piece of rock that had kind of fallen down from the ceiling, and you look at the roper and just kind of call out to it to grab onto you, and I'll say you ready in action to cast mending. That's wicked funny. All right, cool move. but that will happen on the Roper's turn. In that case, that's going to bring us to the Roper's turn. The Roper, the tentacle lashes out towards you and grabs onto you as you've now drawn its attention. And it seems like you're just letting it hit, so it just hits you and throws you up against the ceiling, at which point you take the piece of stone, throw it up, and just do the mending spell. Which mending has a casting time of 1 minute, but now that this has happened, you're just kind of up there for a while, slowly kind of mending this rock on the ceiling, but it actually seems to be out of tentacles at the moment. That it can
would it be possible to call out to the others, say, don't worry, I think I could actually do this?
All right, yeah, you call that out to your allies. In that case, it's going to be Othgarurt. What do you want to do?
I will grab a couple of my weapons, I believe my hand axes, and clatter them together to distract the creature.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an persuasion check, or actually this is probably just going to be performance. Go ahead and make me a performance check to try and draw this creature's attention. Yeah, you clang the axes together, it looks over at you, and the mouth kind of faces towards you, but all of its tentacles are kind of engaged, so while it's fixated pretty exclusively on you, there's just like nothing it can do about it at the moment. And I think at this point, you've solved this problem pretty handily, Anadoltia. So unless anyone has anything else they'd like to do at the end of this minute, I think is when things will kind of pick up all of a sudden again. Would anyone else have anything they'd like to do other than wait for Anadoltia to finish this mending?
I would like to get out of the sewage.
Yes, I suspected that might be the case. You climb out of, you kind of climb out of it. It's kind of like all sticking. I mean, you landed such that it wasn't like your whole body that dunked into it. It's not super deep, but the whole, like, from kind of the waist down is definitely all muck. The smell will probably take some time to come out. It's unpleasant. But your spiders, Lucy is completely fine. I'm sorry, I've now forgotten. Lucy and Mike are completely fine.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna grab them into my hand and just hold them close.
Okay. They kind of nuzzle against you with that. I don't know what sound spiders make to you, but they make whatever sound is a good spider sound. I'll have to learn that. Do you move outside of the range of the creature?
Yes, I'm gonna move as far away from it as possible.
All right, yeah, you get up next to Ciro, who's very far away. Sniper rifle still trained on the thing. In that case, Anadoltia, as the mending spell finishes, I do need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. Actually, yeah, I need you to make me 2 dexterity saving throws. Oh, all right.
Can I use my inspiration for that first one?
You have a point of inspiration?
Second one.
Go ahead and reroll. Yeah, so in that case, you take 1 point of damage. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, though. Because this can interrupt. Okay, you're fine. Totally fine. As you're kind of walking up above, like, you can actually hear the sounds of movement on the streets above. And while you're trying to repair this thing, your body's kind of acting as the stone in the meanwhile. And someone up above just kind of, you feel a foot kind of dig into you. It feels like the back of someone's, like, heel. And they kind of, like, stumble a little bit, and you just hear, like, a murmured complaint about, this city is certainly going to the dogs. And, more just kind of people grumbling about all the misrepair on the roads as you get stepped on the street. But after enduring that mere 1 point of bludgeoning damage, you lock the extra piece of stone in place, and you are able to drop down freely as the tentacle is now kind of pushing against that stone, and Othgarurt kind of like staring it down and intimidating it, and it also being tied up. You are able to move on from this kind of space. As you continue forward down the length of the sewer, it's not long before kind of a new sound kind of takes up your ears, and that sound is the skittering of many, many rats. Ciro, you've been killing them all over the place, but you can't keep up anymore. And
Oh, well then it's now time to put away the rapier and draw 2 daggers.
yeah, even double fisting, just taking the rats and just tossing them aside here and there, it's still, there's just a very high rat density. But you also notice something else in kind of the sewage to your left. You notice the occasional alligator that seems to be actually swimming through this chunk. And as you continue, you can see up in the distance, you can hear the sound of like arguing and yelling. And you can see what looks to be just a whole bunch of rats that are like communicating with one really big looking alligator.
Am I still able to like understand their languages?
Yeah, you're able to understand their languages. You're able to understand their languages because they're actually speaking in common. And the rats are all just kind of shouting things about like, you're hearing things like, betrayers, thief, monster, and the alligator's like, I did all the hard work, I deserve the reward. And that's kind of the scene that you're moving into as the sewer kind of opens up into a larger space. This seems to be like a crossing section where a lot of the pipes kind of merge and diverge into different sections as you're moving through kind of this thoroughfare. And there's a pretty huge looking like crack in the road above where all of them are standing. And you also see what looks to be one of these interns that is just kind of like tied up on the ground in between them. What do you all want to do?
Stab, stab.
Actually, before anyone else tries anything, I like to like approach and look. Since it's all speaking common, it says, "Excuse me, is there a problem here?"
All right, yeah. And Dolce, you kind of roll up into the scene. Ciro, you stab a couple more rats. 2 more rats down. And you, as you walk into the scene, you look at, like I said, this alligator is very huge. But there is also the rat that you're looking at. There's also one kind of big rat, but it looks very strange. For one thing, like it kind of has a brain sticking out of the top of its head. You can like see its brain, and it's part of a big pile of rats that all look like they've had their like tails tied together, and those tails are like curving up into what looks almost forming like a throne for one of the rats to sit on that's a little bit bigger than most of them. And that rat kind of turns to you and addresses you. There is a problem indeed.
And would it be possible for me to help mediate the situation if you both explain to me what is going on?
And the alligator kind of speaks up. I'll tell you what's going on. These fools think that they can benefit from my hard work. And the Rat King kind of speaks up. Your hard work would be meaningless if it wasn't for my brilliant plan. And the Green Sun intern is there on the ground, he just kind of looks up at you, and he just gives like a frown. You can see he has a couple of tears in his eyes.
All right, first I'll look to the gator first and ask, okay, may I ask, what does this hard work entail?
He just kind of points up at the crack in the ceiling, and he just goes, I did that! Easy to do with my incredible strength. All
right, then I'll turn to the Rat King and ask, and what is about this plan, if you don't mind me asking?
I knew that if he did it, we'd get tons of food. They've just been sending interns down all day, and we have to battle over everyone. And they should all be mine, rightfully. I had the idea. If I chose to give him one as a throwaway, it would be more than enough to accomplish whatever measly work he did.
All right. First, I would like take a pause to like consider their situation like from their point of view, and then I look to him and says, "If you don't mind me asking, have you ever considered what the world above thinks about this commotion? Because it's causing quite a chaos up there."
In a chorus, both of them just go, "No, no."
Strange, because if I'll put it this way, if the entirety of what happens above becomes damaged, it may collapse down here, and therefore your numbers may drop significantly. I don't think either one of you would like to take any damage to your own.
They both think about this for a while, and the alligator goes, "That's a really good point. We should keep it a little bit fixed, so that way they keep sending people to fix it, but it doesn't collapse. Thank you for the great idea."
I have another suggestion.
The alligator looks at you.
Stab, stab.
I'm sure you like the taste of maybe human, but have you considered squid?
He kind of like looks at you confused for a while. "I've never had squid. Do you have it for me to try?"
I know where some is nearby, and I will happily take you there.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
May I assist with that?
By the way, Ciro, you keep saying stab, stab. What are you stabbing? Please be more specific than this.
Oh, you know I'm stabbing rats.
Oh, okay. I just want to be clear. If at any time you're stabbing something other than just generic rats, which the Rat King has seen you stab several rats, does not seem to care at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're ever stabbing anything other than generic rats, please let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kill a few more rats.
If I ever go into the water and alligator stab, I will let you know.
Okay.
As
So
I said, I
yeah,
want
you
to
speak.
aid Othgarurt.
Yeah, I mean, we can say you would have used the help action there. That's fine, because you've been speaking to them a lot. And Othgarurt, as you kind of offer the squid to the alligator, he thinks about it for a while, but he kind of turns his head back and looks to you. "No, I think I'll keep eating the free humans, but if the humans ever run out, I'll switch over to squid." Which seems like it's also, is it easy to get the squid? Should I do you just make me a map so once I'm done eating all the humans that these man, they're so dumb. They just walk down here over and over again.
They're
but
not
maybe if you make me
as
a map.
dumb as you think.
And the initiate kind of speaks up and just goes, "I am not dumb. I was only following instructions."
I think I'll speak up at this point. Says, well, there is other food sources. I'm not sure exactly where these sewers lead across the city.
And
I want to turn to the Rat King and ask if there's any sewer ways where that leads to a open area, like it kind of pours out into a open field or something.
"We rats can go anywhere in the city or outside of it."
He says, is there any particular area where the sewers drain out that leads to an area of, I guess, green hills or more specifically forest?
And he kind of looks at you for a while and thinks, "We rats live in sewers. That's all there is to it. We're not going to leave our home."
Even if it's for food?
If there was a guarantee of food at the location, maybe. But we have a guarantee of food right here.
Well, true, but what will happen once the food stops arriving here? You'll need to find another food source, and I have heard many forests contain lots of animals that, well, are usually quick if they discover. I'm pretty sure your gator associate here could easily take them down and be able to share with all, especially if they are quiet before they strike.
And he kind of speaks up, and he's looking at you for a while, and he goes, "Why do you care? No one cares about rats. No one cares about alligators." Yeah, no one cares about gators usually.
At this point, I'll suggest, like, well, I used to live as a street rat, at which humans call us. It's basically orphans of the street. I can easily say that if you don't take care of one another, then no one else will. That is how I view this situation.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Anadoltia. Persuasion 11.
Dang.
After kind of making this kind of impassioned speech about people taking care of each other, the Rat King and the alligator both look at each other, and both of them kind of say something along the lines of, "Yeah, we really need to take care of our clans," and they both kind of nod, and then they both kind of look at you. They both kind of look back at you and say at the same time, "Kill the Rat King and we'll leave." Or actually, wait, no, "Kill the giant gator and we'll leave," implying that the other one said, "Kill the Rat King and we'll leave," as they've both agreed that if you kill the other one, they'll move on and basically find somewhere else to get food.
Actually, I think about it for a moment. Says, so take it that
Pete.
neither one of you can work together?
Pete, I am attacking something other than a generic rat now.
Yes. What do you wish to attack?
I would like to attack both the Rat King and the Gator.
Oh, damn. All right, go ahead and... Are you assuming you're throwing 2 daggers?
Yes.
Oh, God. All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll. 2 discrete attack rolls. 10 and 11. That hits neither of them.
Okay. Okay, but they still see that I am throwing daggers at
Yeah,
both.
I mean, they do see that you throw 2 daggers at them, which I think sounds like initiative to me.
God damn it.
The Galanodel's weakness. Exposition.
I mean, it's true. It is the Galanodel's weakness. Oh, I rolled those 2 GM. I will make them blank. Redo. In that case... that's going to be the first one to go. Will be. Oh wait, we have ourselves a natural 20 from Serena. Serena, what do you wish to do? You watch as Ciro takes 2 daggers and throws them at each of these enemies, who had just both agreed to let you fight one of them.
Can I ask the rats if they've eaten any spiders?
Yeah, you just say that out loud. The rat, one of the like sub-rats from the Rat King kind of speaks up, and just goes, "Not really our taste."
That makes this quite difficult then.
What's the call?
I'm going to attack the alligator.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. That definitely hits. Roll damage. 6 points of piercing damage as you pull back your longbow and loose your arrow into the creature. Kind of, and it looks at you. In that case, the next to go. I'm sorry. Is there anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. As you fire an arrow, how are you like positioning yourself? Also, I guess. Are you gonna like try and move back and away from the fray, or are you gonna kind of stay where you are, just kind of in betweenish the two of them, although not directly, a little bit off to the side in between them?
I'm gonna make sure that I'm fairly far away. I've been trying to keep my distance from the cat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you take a few more steps backwards, ducking into kind of like the sewer pipe where you first entered from. That is going to then bring us to Anadoltia.
Right, first I'll probably set Sir Fluffles down on the premise I kind of drop him and to tell him to run back somewhere, and then I will start off with Armor of Agathis.
All right. You kind of call upon this icy armor as some of like the sewer water comes up to surround you in a shield of cold. It's got a little bit of a greenish tinge, appropriately for the Green Sun cult. And anything else on your turn?
I believe that's all I could do at the moment.
All right, you are now magically protected as it passes
Well, I
on
believe I would like kind of consider who I'm going to attack now because everyone else is attacking one. I will like move away from the gator, but like keep it within sight.
Okay. Moving away from the gator. So you're like aligning yourself at least positionally with the Rat King to some degree.
Yes, to some degree, because the gator can actually damage the streets above. The rats, they're just more of a swarm down here. So this is basically more along the lines of their turf.
Okay. All right, cool. In that case, that's going to bring us to Ciro. You who kicked this initiative off.
Seeing that my good friend, the Doll Warlock, has moved within 5 feet of Rat King, I can now get sneak attack.
Did you move that close, Anadoltia? Did you want to be next to the Rat King? Just
not next to it, but like I just want to like keep to decide where I'm like going away from the gator, but like still along the I guess the wall. I guess.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Anadoltia is actually in 5 feet at the moment.
Okay, could I have?
You can wait until someone goes in.
Could I have stealth in order to gain advantage? So that I do get in sneak attack. Because sneak attack procs if I have advantage as well.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. You could take a bonus action to hide at the end of this turn.
Okay, so it wouldn't
and
get
then
it
have it
this
for next
round,
time. But you
Okay.
can have it for next time if you stealth successfully.
Okay, I'm gonna move away 30 feet and then stealth.
All right, you kind of duck back into the chamber. You're kind of near where, that's probably going to do it. You duck over near where Serena is, and you tuck against the wall. In that case, it's going to bring us to the alligator, who was going to go after you, Ciro, but as you run away, the alligator is just going to go towards the nearest target, which I think the only one still standing in kind of plain view at the moment is you, Othgarurt.
But we are not that different.
That's true. No, he's just gonna go up and go after the Rat King. I think. Actually, make me a charisma check. Othgarurt, to see if you can convey this with simple emotions as he turns and looks at you and starts moving closer. Nah, he doesn't see you as not that different. He's going after you.
Are you sure? What's the alligator's charisma?
better than 4. It is a reptilian portrayal as this giant alligator kind of up towards you. It's very big, and its huge mouth opens up and clamps down on you for a lot of damage in this particular instance.
Very much a lot of damage.
Are you okay? Are you still alive?
I need a moment to be sure. I was not prepared for getting this hurt.
Either way, either you are downed or the giant alligator claps onto you, and
I think this is under half my health of damage. I was just checking that.
Oh wait, so you're unconscious?
No,
Wait.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was threshold.
Okay, cool. So you're fine.
That's
Kind
what I
of.
was checking. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So yeah, you are locked into this alligator's jaws. You can feel the teeth kind of piercing into you, and then also pushing down as you're also restrained by the alligator with this bite. And you see the tail of the alligator kind of whips around, and that is going to be against the Rat King. As the tail flips back and slams into the Rat King, which calls out in a good deal of pain. That is all for the alligator's turn. That is going to next be. That is Othgarurt. What do you wish to do?
I feel a sense of betrayal. I had been willing to reason with the Gator Man and find a sense of mutual peace, but no more. I shall open into a frenzied rage.
Very well.
And hit him with my halberd, even if he's really up close to me.
Okay. Are you doing reckless?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make me what I assume, or you can't do 2 yet. So go ahead and make me an attack. It would be at disadvantage because you're restrained, but it's just regular because you're recklessly attacking. Oh, rough. You're in the creature's mouth, and as your fury kind of courses through you, you pull out the halberd and go to swing, but it's just tough to get a purchase while inside the mouth of this creature, and unfortunately the attack misses. Is that all for your turn?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. That is going to bring us to the Rat King. The Rat King is going to ready in action. And that is all the Rat King is going to do as it passes back to the top of the order, which is Serena. Serena, what do you want to do?
Serena is going to shoot another arrow and move back again.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll against the alligator, I presume.
Yes.
The 10 unfortunately misses. The arrow kind of launches off of the kind of hide of the thick hide of the alligator. Is that all for your turn, or is there anything else?
I think that's everything.
Okay. In that case, it's going to next be... was it Ciro? No, it was Anadoltia next. Anadoltia, what do you want to do?
Alright, so at this moment, since I pretty much see the gators turned against Othgarurt as well, I will first put on, at least run up to where Othgarurt is if I can and touch him and cast resistance.
Very good. What does resistance do? Okay. You feel this magical resistance overcome you as your next saving throw shall be bolstered by this spell, Othgarurt.
And then followed up with a bonus action for Hex upon the Gator.
All right, you also use your bonus action to magically hex this gator. But now you're also right up next to the gator, is one issue there. And I think that's probably it for your turn then, Anadoltia?
I do want to mention...
Oh, wait. I can't do Hex. Because it's also a concentration.
Oh, yes. Oh, I forgot resistance was concentration. That's my...
So I assume that'll be all I can do.
Okay, so you just go up and use the resistance on Othgarurt, and that is all for right now. That is going to bring us then to Ciro.
Okay, there is a target within range of 5 feet of an ally. Also, I'm stealth, so I have advantage.
Yeah, you're stealth. You have the advantage for sure.
5 feet of 2 allies.
Pow, the alligator.
All right, cool. As you strike the alligator for 7 points of piercing damage, the arrow or the bolt flies through kind of the snout, sticks into it. Othgarurt, you see it kind of stick out like through the mouth, right in past your head. Not hitting you, obviously, but hitting you inside the, coming close inside the mouth of the creature. And that's going to trigger the Rat King's ready to action, which the Rat King was certain you were going to attack the Rat King, so when you attacked, the Rat King is casting a Dominate spell on you. I'd like you to make a Wisdom save.
It is casting a charm effect on a half-elf.
That is correct.
Okay.
You will have advantage upon it.
Wisdom, correct?
Yep. Don't know nothing about Fey ancestry.
14.
That is just barely going to succeed, actually. As you suddenly feel like, and it's not just like a small, it's just not like a small effect. You feel this like unbound like will pushing against you as the Rat King attempts to dominate monster you, but that fails. It was a big one. However, that effect fails, and you shrug it off, and you're like, "Whoa, that's a scary Rat King!" And is that all for your turn?
Move back 30 feet. Apparently, me and Serena have the same idea.
Yep.
Get some distance. Bonus action, stealth once again.
All right, you stealth. In that case, that's going to bring us to the gator, which is still kind of chomping down on you, Othgarurt. It's just going to open its mouth, which ends the grapple, but it's going to try and hit you again. 23. That's another 13 points of piercing damage, which is halved by your rage, down to a 6 points of piercing damage as it bites into you again, Othgarurt.
I am not comfortable being this close to mortality.
Yes, it's a dangerous situation as then the tail whips around and strikes into the Rat King again for another 13 points. And the Rat King is looking pretty beat up as well. A lot of the rats that were kind of beneath the one main rat with all their tails tied together are like just kind of flying and scattering throughout the air with these attacks. That's going to, in that case, bring us to you, Othgarurt. It is your time to respond if you so wish.
I shall take advantage of the resistance given to me and attempt to break out of this grapple.
All right, go for it.
That is a dex save.
It is actually, you can, the resistance actually doesn't come into play on this. This would be just an athletics check. But you do have advantage on that because of your rage if you wish to do that.
Very good.
21, yeah. You just kind of pull back the alligator's jaws with your massive lizardfolk muscles and kind of remove yourself from within the creature's grasp. Anything else?
As a bonus action, I shall strike it again with my halberd.
Yes. Reckless?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and make an attack with advantage. 16 definitely hits. Roll damage on that. All right, you cut into the creature for 4 points of slashing damage as your halberd cuts across. Is that with your rage damage? So it actually should be 6 with the rage. So 6 points of slashing damage, and the alligator lets out another roar. Stop it! He seems upset. The Rat King goes, keep doing it! And on the Rat King's turn, the Rat King is going to cast a spell at the alligator, which the alligator fails. As the Rat King kind of points at the alligator and just goes, grovel, fool! And the alligator just kind of like rolls over onto its belly, or actually it will do that on its next turn. That is going to, in that case, bring us to the top of the initiative. Serena, what do you want to do?
You know, I'm just loosen those arrows.
All right, you just continue to make it rain, as the level 1 characters want to do. 14 hits. Roll damage. For another 4, the arrow sticks into the creature, and he's looking pretty beat up at this point. And I think that brings us then to Anadoltia. What do you want to do?
I will cast Ray of Frost upon the alligator.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 14 does hit. Roll damage on that. Okay, that's with the, I see what you're doing. So that's going to be 9 points of damage, right?
11.
Why 11?
Higher level casting. 6
No, I try to cast it at just as a cantrip though.
Oh wait, you don't. You wouldn't have.
Oh, then it's.
I was getting confused. Yeah, it would just be 6.
Yeah, no, something messed up right there. I think I messed up.
I don't know why that happened. That was a little bit funky. But yeah, you deal 6 points of cold damage as some of the wounds that have already cut on the alligator frost over. It howls out in pain once more. Anything else?
Bonus action hex, and I'll have it.
Bonus action hex.
With the disadvantage to dexterity.
Okay. In that case, that is going to bring us next to Ciro. Ciro, what do you want to do?
You said the alligator was looking beat up, but this Rat King, he's dangerous. He has spells. I don't like the charm affected.
The Rat King's not looking great either. He's taking a couple of big tail swipes.
Yeah, well, charm is the worst.
You attacking the Rat King?
Yeah. Did I have advantage or no?
Yeah, you were hidden. So yeah,
Okay.
you have advantage. So 18 points of... Oh god, so much damage! You stick a crossbow bolt right through kind of the neck of the Rat King, who howls out in pain. And kind of falls over, and all the rats that are... all the rats that were kind of like scurrying around him kind of skitter off and flee as you have slain the Rat King. And that brings us to the crocodile's turn, the alligator's turn, who on his turns...
Not yet.
Oh,
bonus action
really?
Stealth.
Oh, you're gonna hide? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the alligator is going to just roll over on his belly, responding to the command spell from the Rat King, which doesn't go away just because the Rat King's dead. That's not a concentration spell. So that in that case, it passes to Othgarurt as this alligator goes prone before you. It's just laying on the ground, belly up.
I shall take a couple steps back to move 5 feet away from it. And I shall go completely ham on it with my halberd.
It is going to make an attack against you with disadvantage. It's just gonna make an attack against you with disadvantage as you're walking away, because it's like doing like an awkward attack with its tail as it flops around on the ground. A 14. Is that a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it just kind of flaps the tail at you. You go away, and then you have 2 attacks with advantage because it is prone before you. That definitely hits, and that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage on both of those. I cannot fathom. Yeah, that's a killing blow. Do you want to describe the final killing blow of this battle as you take out the alligator?
It shall be a simple, clean beheading.
All right. You execute. Very appropriate with the halberd, as you in 2 quick swings just. It almost seems seamless, like one, as the head of the alligator falls away down to the ground. The Rat King and alligator are both slain, and the various rats and smaller rats and smaller alligators that were also battling their own miniature war flee into the sewers. Their leaders slain. The cultist, the intern, kind of looks up at you and just goes, "Hey, you guys did a very good job. That was carried out efficiently." And he's slowly kind of regaining his composure as he speaks.
No witnesses.
He's dead. You kill him. With that, you have kind of cleaned this blockage. You go back to
I have one last action to take before we leave, and
yes.
that will be collecting the bones of the alligator.
That does take some time, but you do it kind of slowly, ritualistically. I think in a lot of ways, as you collect the bones of the creature, and we are a bit over time, so I will push us right on through to you speaking to the cultist, who hands you, as you return, you receive a card, each of you, that just says "Well done," and then you receive an absolutely massive stack of forms, each of you, on how to get in touch with financial for compensation for the completion of your mission. But you have all successfully completed this adventure. You have rampaged through the sewers. You have unseated the Rat King. You've taken down the big alligator. And for that, you have each earned 100 Bartholomew bucks and gained 1 experience, which means if you were level 1, you are now level 2. And with that, I believe this first adventure will conclude. Thank you very much for playing, everybody.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Thank you.
I would
Thank
like
you.
to shop, please.
Yes, we shall
Thank you.
do